we are going to be very fast. And we want to take some comments from our listeners outside. Few of the comments because of time, Your Excellency, and question. The first person says, where is the place of youth constituency in these laudable projects, considering that they represent 75% of the state's workforce? Please, I want the chairman, National Council of Nigeria, Ebonyi State, to react to this. Homer Darlington. Number 2, thank you, Your Excellency. You are a very correct leader, Ivo Youth. Then number 3, Your Excellency, sir, I am Wali Friday Eze from Inikriafium. Sir, federal government did not supply fertilizer to farmers this year. What is the effort for them to get fertilizer for improvement of farmers' crops now? Next, Your Excellency, the problem in my area is that backsliding agricultural production is fragmentation due to soldiers not allowing the people to farm, saying that it is their land. Solomon from Abakaliki. Honorable Commissioner, what plan do your ministry have for large abundant farmland at Ezulo Farm? Pius Eze from Ikwo. I commend His Excellency's good initiative for making this all-important program. I want to remind us the need to carry along the Songhai-trained rice farmers to make this lofty dream a reality. Number 8, Your Excellency, I would like to draw your attention to over 32,000 hectares of land lying fallow at Ezambo Farm Settlement. I want to suggest its privatization for productivity, wealth creation, quenching hunger, and youth job creation. Number 9, I suggest that a comprehensive package be designed by the state government, the consultants, and willing farmers, and sent to international donors and investors for funding. With discipline and consistency, Ebonyi State will get there. Chukwode. How reliable are the current figures of production and yields per hectares of land for planning purposes? Linus Ono, Livinus Ono. Some of the keys to reviving rice: increased rice yields per hectare, use of certified seeds by farmers, cooperative. This is another comment. Viable fertilizers, training in right agronomy practices by IFAD, soil testing for appropriate fertilizer, Dr. Amade from one of the banks in Abakaliki. Your Excellency, let me take the last question because of time. Please, the paper presenter should explain the aims that said government should supervise the agro dealer as they provide inputs to real farmers. Mwigwe from Ohozara. Your Excellency, I think this is the much we can take because of time so that we can progress. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Because of this, we are moving to the next item, which is keynote address by His Excellency. It is on that note that we would like to invite #1 farmer in the Ebonyi State of Nigeria, a man who is working very hard to improve agriculture and other sectors. His Excellency, Engineer Chief Dave Umaye Ekubaroha. Your Excellency, sir.
This time around, His Excellency, the #1 farmer and the Chief Executive is about to react because he is ready, he is committed, he is dedicated. His Excellency, the Governor of
Ebonyi State, Your Excellency, the wife of the Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State, the Right Honorable Speaker of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Ebonyi State, and your dear wife, my Lord, the President of Customary Court of Appeal, the party chairman, the deputy speaker, the leader of the house, our guest speakers, the wife of the former Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State, Your Excellency, the Secretary to Government, the Speaker came with his wife, the wife of SIG is also here too, the ESCO members, the House of Assembly members and House leadership, the ESCO members, chairmen of commissions and boards and members, Your Highnesses, our dear fathers, my dear brothers and sisters, let me on your behalf, and of course especially the Commissioner for Agriculture and your team, thank you very much for a very beautiful today, what you have put together for us. We are very grateful. Let me start by thanking the key guest speaker, our brother, Professor Martin. Thank you very much. What you gave us is not what can be consumed in hours. I think we need days to consume it and benefit from your submissions. Thank you also, our dear sister, the Provost, is it the Registrar of Eshago College of Education? Is it the Provost? Okay, ma, thank you. I got a lot of packages, including the dry fish. I'm so excited. Thank you for the great work you're doing there. To the CBN man, thank you very much. They say that money is the root of everything, the root of every good thing. We're happy we have you here. Professor Mr. Celebe, thank you very much. There's something you didn't tell us, and I think it's biomass. You didn't talk to us about biomass. Thank you. I'm sure that any bill we send to the House of Assembly will receive a speedy approval, because one of their wives is involved. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I just want to make a few submissions. Dr. Chagu, thank you very much, the chairman of the occasion. Thank you. Let me start with your submission. When you submitted that, I think 2010, that we produced about 350,000, tons of paddy. I spent half of my time here doing some calculation, because in the morning I invited the IFAD coordinator and one Mr. Chair of Minister of Agriculture, because I know the commissioner was going to be very busy. And we started to discuss, and we looked at the number of rice mills in Ebonyi State. We have 3 rice mills of 5 tons per hour, and we have the UNIDO own 3, and we have the private one, I think they said it's 3. So if you aggregate them, 15 plus 6 is about 21. And I say if we are producing 8 hours and for 300 days in a year, so it didn't give us a very good result. And there is no way we can mill all this paddy. If you use 60% yield, that is if you have 100% of paddy and after milling you have 60% of rice, which means that we need a lot of private sector in this direction. That is one thing I noticed. But we are yet to come to that, because if we have all the rice we need and milling becomes the issue, we solve the problem faster than the problem of production of paddy. When I saw what they brought out, our people that went to Abuja, are those farmers that went to Abuja, some of them here? Can I see your hands up if you went to Abuja? Okay. Well done, ma. You're almost a professor and a great politician. Thank you. Yeah, I was told that there was no notification of the number of paddies we house in Ebonyi State. That was very unfortunate. And that's one of the reasons I decided to convocate this, all stakeholders meeting, on rice. And I will explain why we are taking it, bit by bit. When I was in Abuja, they called for rice producing governors. And when I attended the meeting, that's the central bank governor, there were over 12 governors that were there. And Kebi was reporting that he has about 240,000, tons of paddy, produced, and they don't know how to evacuate it. I say we are in trouble. We used to, pride ourselves as the largest producer of rice, the Abakaliki rice. And see other governors, some had 120. I was able to say, well, we have more than this, but we have capacity to take everything and make for you. But inwardly, I know that we have to do something. We have to do something. Because if we go at the rate we are going, sooner or later we no longer, have anything like the Abakaliki rice. But one of the governors said something, said, one of them was saying, everybody talks about Abakaliki rice, Abakaliki rice. So one of them answered the question, why? I said, it's very sweet. It's the best in the whole country, and that's a fact. And one of them said, it's because of their soil, the salt of the nation. So when I came back, I spoke with my deputy governor and SAG, and we said, look, we have to do something, and do something very fast to regain our position in rice production in the whole Nigeria. And I was also encouraged by the fact that CBN, said we are no longer going to fund rice importation. And so rice is soon going to be good in Nigeria, because what they were importing was more than 50 times what we were producing. And if you notice, some of those rice were produced and stored for over 20, 30 years. And so by the time they come here, they are coming as poisons, chaps. So it has no nutritional value at all. And that's what our federal government has realized. You see that we import even toothpicks into Nigeria. There shouldn't be any reason for that. So I told the governor of Central Bank that, and of course when I went to meet with the president, and I was talking to him about doing some of the federal roads, and I said to him, thank you for your policy on rice production. I said, look, Ebonyi State alone can produce all the rice we need in this country, and that is a fact. So my problem with some of the program is big grammar. Big grammar. Even though the ones today, honestly, the presentations have been stepped down to the level that some of the professors can understand. But some of us that are key farmers, we still need to further step it down. When IFAD spoke to me, we had a meeting, and they say they are working in 3 local government areas, targeting 1,250 farmers, maybe. I said, no, you have to work in 13 local government areas. And we came to an agreement. The only thing is that if we're supposed to put down 10 naira as our partnership, fund, we have to probably put 100 and say we are ready. We are ready to do that. But I know by the time you go to the House of Assembly to approve the loan, and they see only 3 local government areas, they will start asking, what about the youth and their empowerment? So, and that's why I say, okay, let us just jump the gun by saying we'll work in the 13 local government areas. And we are looking at 200 cooperative societies in each local government. If we must attain 350,000, And already IFAD has picked the number to between 10 minimum and 20. And I remember by God's special grace that Ebonyi State, we discussed in ESCO about land. Land is a very difficult issue. And I pity owners of land where government just come and acquire land and pay nothing for it. Of course, it's very compulsory where we have to cite industries and other infrastructural development. We must have to do that. But when it comes to farming, must we take the lands of farmers that are also into farming? Their only means of livelihood. So we started talking in Ebonyi State that we should be able to, register all farmland. All farmland should be surveyed and registered. And I was very surprised when I went on National Economic Council meeting. I was given a very big book, which I've transmitted to the Deputy Governor. What is it talking about? Exactly what we're talking about. Whereby if you come to, an area, community, you get a number of people into a cooperative society, and then you can register their lands individually. And then when they come and they contribute their lands which you have registered, and then when you now talk about, assessing loan, you can no longer say you don't have collateral. You now have collateral because that land you have registered is more valuable than the houses at the rural areas, because we can aggregate it together and give it to international investors. So that's what the land reform is talking about, and we already started it here. And that's why I appeal to the speaker. I say, please don't go on holiday yet. And I'm sure the House will say they have never seen this kind of government. What they have done in the past 1 month is more than what probably has been done in the past 4 years. I'm sure they're not hearing me because they'll ask me for more money. So if we get these 200 cooperatives, it means that each cooperative should have a minimum of 50 hectares of land. 50 hectares of land. Then they will be surveyed. It will be surveyed. Then you contribute your own. And when you enter into a cooperative arrangement, it will have a total shareholding. And the percentage of the area of your land will be the equity holding of that cooperative. Do you understand what you're talking about? Now, when you have that, then we'll be able to survey it and register it. And of course, you pay for the registration and for the survey. But it's one-off. By the time the federal government will finish their land reform and put it to law, we would have finished our own and would have asked the House of Assembly to pass it before they go on recess. Now, what worries me again is that I've been in many international conferences where they talk about 10 tons of yield per 1 hectare. 10, 7, 8. And our key speaker also mentioned it, and other people. We should stop talking about 3 tons per yield, per hectare. The Ministry of Agriculture should do everything to bring from next January planting season. We have to abolish all rices that is 3 tons per hectare yield. And then whatever it will cost us to bring in the species that will be 7 tons, to 10 tons, we should encourage that. We already have light equipment, and I'm told by IFAD programs there is a cost for preparation of land. Between now and January, we should be able to prepare all the land, form all the cooperative societies, identify the yield, the better yielding seeds, purchase them. By the way, when I come to that, I will answer that. I didn't know that Obuago has planted a bottle in fertilizer company. I didn't know that our policy has swept him away. So SSG should note, if he needs to be, if we need a law, that is to go to the House of Assembly for him to be re-engaged, do a letter for me to sign to the House. But if he doesn't need, then he has been re-engaged. Because it's not a good time to remove him having worked there for a very long time. And we are talking about expanding the fertilizer even integrating it to the organic one that will soon come on board. So we should prepare the land and, let us know the cost of the land. And then we should identify different kinds of fertilizer. We want every fertilizer coming to Ebonyi State to be produced by us. We should be able to do that. So our soil scientists, professors, should be able to identify these cooperatives. They can do whatever test they need to do and say this land needs this kind of fertilizer. And then we take it to our fertilizer company and say, produce this quantity for us, produce this quantity for us. Because one fertilizer is not good for all soil.
That's correct.
So we should be able to do that, and I hope if the Ministry of listening to us. Our trouble with workers will not end. Let them give me any kind of name, no problem. But we will soon look at the workforce in each of the ministries. And then excess workers will be taken over to Ministry of Agriculture and Environment. They will not lose. I can assure them that in these two ministries, they will have extra allowances. Their promotion will be assured, their salaries will be assured, and continuity will be assured. So we use these workers as extension workers. I've seen where women are mechanics and it treats people, where women are driving tractors. And I tell you something, women do better things than men. I'll tell you this. Now, before this January, the next planting season, we must be able to talk to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. Since they are training other people at Ishagu, they should also train us. You know, people talk so much about Songhai, but what I've seen here is also another Songhai. But you know, people like to get their dollar stackled. Otherwise, it's the same agriculture, it's the same production, it's the same result. So we try to use your base for training and of course our university too. So somebody suggested forming a committee. Yes, we are going to form a committee immediately, and that will be IFAD, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and then these consultants. They have to come up and under the leadership or chairmanship of the Deputy Governor. They should be able to come up with, a framework, for the next planting season. Get this cooperative formed, get the land registered, get the land identified as per the kind of fertilizer they need, and then get the extension workers, everything properly prepared. And that will answer the question of one of the questions they asked about packaging this thing and then appealing to donors. And I believe in that. First of all, identify your problems. Put a package on how to solve it. Money is not the issue. Money will come. Money will beg you to come. But first of all, know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, even when the money comes, you don't know what to do with it. Is it not correct? What do we do this year, now that the planting season has, is gone? What we do is, when we came on board, we discovered that there was Agricultural Development Corporation that, lumped all the rice mill into ADC and the hatchery and so on and so forth. And the law debarred anybody from inquiring into the hatchery. I said no. One is not correct for the governor to be the chairman of ADC. The governor has so much headache. So I asked the House of Assembly to unbundle it so that rice can be different, and then we can have one general manager for rice and the 3 assistant general managers who will drive this. And we've asked HAG to cooperate a company to warehouse this. And the idea is that this company, the workers should benefit 20% of the equity. but they have to earn it. The private sector will benefit 20%, and then the Ebonyi holding company should benefit 60%. But with time, the workers, they will be dropping part of their salary to be gaining their equity, and then the other 20% has to be based on the 3 senatorial zone on equal basis, and then the other 60% will be relinquishing it to both the workers and the private sector, so that over time, government will own nothing in these rice mills. That's what we want to do. We also want to do it in a couple of other companies. So when they do that, they unbundle it. We will now have a, rice company. We have the poultry company, and then we do the same thing. So we appeal to them to do something very quickly. On the issue of money, we appeal to Minister of Finance to immediately review the budget so that we can assess this 2 billion for rice production and the 2 billion for SME, so that we can assess it, and we can, readily assess it with these cooperative societies. We are bringing up a law to the House of Assembly. It will be an offense for an individual or a community to engage any investor in any place without the permission of the state government. Because, like, if you go to our mineral deposits, they have all been engaged and they are doing nothing. People just, engage them, colluding with the communities. And the problem we have in Ishago now is as a result of that, because there was a technical mistake whereby our neighbors brought a company and then we had to warehouse the company. So the loyalty is to the people that brought the company. So, but if government is in the know, they will now, from day one, give protection both to the community and to the companies operating there. So we are going to do that. The same thing with the land. Nobody has the right to give out any land without, first of all, getting approval from, the government. We will soon also come up with a legal policy where every public office holder will own a farm, and all schools will also own farms. Before the question was asked on Ezilo Farm, we want to own Ezilo Farm, and we want to have like 26 cooperative societies, two pay each local government, which means that we are looking at about 20 persons per each local government. We've looked at the salary. If we get the workers and we pay each one 20,000 naira, what do we want to do with Ezilo Farm? We want to use this as a demonstration farm, but it's going to be yielding. I'm told that it's 1,200, but somebody said 3,500 hectares. Whatever it is, we want to see if we can produce rice, twice a year. And so what we do is to parcellate this land, divide it into these 26 cooperative societies, and then now be able to man it. And then we also practice irrigation, pumping raw water from Ezilo, which is very close there, and then building overhead tanks over there. And I told the deputy governor that we can also use the space up for solar, so that while we are farming down, we are using the space up for solar, so that every